What's the DJ?
Hey, check this out. We got a great show coming your way.
From the ECSI Sports Studios, it's the Midday Market Report with Jeff Dawson.
ECSI fans, do you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all of your sports books and track all of your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You can also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as they're the best account on the platform. Head to the App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire to download the app. Hey sports fans, are you ready for an exhilarating gaming experience? Introducing VIPClub.lv, your ultimate online sportsbook and casino. VIPClub.lv offers a vast selection of sports, from football and basketball to tennis and baseball. Bet on your favorite teams and enjoy the thrill of the game. But that's not all. Our state-of-the-art online casino offers a dazzling array of games, including slots, blackjack, roulette, and live dealer tables. Win big with their fantastic promotions, rewards, and exclusive offers. Join VIPClub.lv today and get a generous 100% match welcome bonus to start your winning streak. Make sure to use code ECSI at sign-up. Bet it, win it, and cash it at VIPClub.lv. Visit VIPClub.lv now and play responsibly. VIPClub.lv, your sportsbook and casino extravaganza. Must be 21 or older to play. Please gamble responsibly. Visit gambleware.org for help.
Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your Midday Market Report for Thursday, January 25th. That's right, 1 week left, and it's February already. I have no idea where the time has gone. Blink, and we're at the Super Bowl. Blink again, we're at Augusta, and we're getting ready for the Masters, which obviously, you know, I can't wait for. But first, couple shout-outs to Joe and Evan, the gentlemen behind the glass, doing all this amazing work. Shout out to WagerWire, our proud sponsor and partnership with them. If you haven't downloaded the app, shame on you. Run on over to Google Play and wherever you download the apps. It's free. Get yourself accustomed to it. Send an email to affiliate@wagerwire.com. Tell them JD at ECSI sent you. Start making some flash cash there. Zach, Travis, and the rest of the gang community, the best in the business. And we're so proud to have partnered with them. And, of course, VIPClub.lv. At checkout, put in ECSI. Tell them the crew from East Coast Sports Investors sent you over there. Jay will take good care of you there. So without further ado, the true star of this show, the one and only Mr. Andrew McInnis.
Good afternoon.
What's up? Good afternoon, Andrew. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Jeff. I appreciate you having me on the radio show earlier in the week. Looking forward to a busy night in the NHL and excited about the NHL right now. It's just it's shaping up. There's a lot of moves being talked about, trade deadlines getting, near all-star breaks coming up here. So I'm looking forward to breaking down some games here. How are you doing?
Good. The backdrop that I'm using today has us situated in the corner. If you look to the left of my shoulder, the center ice and the B, me and Pep were as high as you could go. We were in the rafters in the 9th floor, looking down on it as we were doing the live show for Sports Map Radio for the women's 45th Bean Pot, the first at the Garden. Historic Northeastern wins in overtime over BU. The actual paid attendance was almost 11,000, the largest to watch a women's hockey tournament or game in the whole Northeast. I think Wisconsin, one of those schools, Midwest, has the biggest record, but it was an amazing performance by Hockey East.
It's great to see. It's really great to see. It seemed like it was a great event as I saw some pictures from you. And hopefully the game only continues to grow, and I think that Boston's obviously a great place for those tournaments to be held. But it's great for, even if they can't fill up TD Garden, it's great for them to get opportunities to play there. I know for us here where I live, like we do very similar things. So we'll have like the university or even some of like the high school teams will get to play at the big arena in town. So that way they get to showcase. They're in the big stage, right? The big ice. And if, the big crowds do show up, which is usually more so for the, semifinals and championship game, it's a good experience for them to get to experience that. But obviously TD Garden, such a historic building, a building I think is up there in top 3, at least for atmospheres. Whenever I hear someone in Vegas tell me how great the fandom is there, I just show them the Bell Center or TD Garden and turn my head.
Well, I was thinking of you. I was so glad that we were able to get you on where you're going in your career and Mayflower Sports. You showcase on Sports Grid, etc. But you love the live events, you love the interview, and you love the broadcast and the play-by-play. And it's coming, my brother. It's coming.
Well, I appreciate that, and we actually just got approved for media passes for our version of March Madness here in Canada, except for just the East Coast part of it. So it's exciting. And Jeff, I'd like the worlds to collide a little bit. Like maybe I'll start using my Twitter account or X, whatever we're calling it, and posting about that stuff too, just as similar as what you've been doing. I mean, you do a lot of sports betting content, but also you're out here, you're not just talking about betting in the sports world in general, whether it be college sports, whether it be pro leagues. So I'm excited. We just got approved today, actually, for some media passes for that. And it's one step at a time.
Congratulations. And what you and I do, the CFL, in the summertime. Me and Dan Alexander for a couple of years have done the Premier Lacrosse League. Yes, I know we try to break down the major sports and the events. We had Drew Disnick on the Whale Capper on Monday night, and Pepe's looking at me like I got 4 heads. Me and Drew were talking about the Australian Open, and there's a big match tonight, Djokovic versus Sinner, and I got a pretty heavy lean on this game, which the ECSI VIPs might get a little taste of some Australian Open at 10:30 tonight if I decide to release it. But with social media, with Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it today, getting so cluttered, sifting out, we talk about the spaghetti strainer. It's almost like you just got to put your blinders on, Andrew, and whatever keeps us, you and I and everyone else happy is what we're going to report.
For sure. And that's just the benefit we have, right? I mean, nobody's controlling our social media accounts. Nobody's controlling what we're going to say here on the shows. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of this audience wants us to give out winning betting information. That's what they're here for. But they want to, I think it's important. And I'll shout out Adam Trigger, because Trig from WagerTalk, the guy goes to 1 million games. And you know what's great about him going to those games is that it shows he's not just a sports handicapper that doesn't care about going to the game. He's not going there for just research purposes. I'm sure he does take information away, but he's having fun. And the thing is he's having fun, but he's also putting himself in the environment. He's showcasing that, how much it really means to him and how much he likes what he's doing, and as you mentioned, and people say in general, there's a reason why you should do what you love to do, because it doesn't feel like a job. And as much as everything is not as easy as it might seem, when you're going to like 25, 30 different college basketball gyms in one season, I tip my hat to somebody like him, because even though I'm sure it's really fun, he's still traveling, driving, doing all that stuff. So like you mentioned, do what you enjoy to do, and then it becomes a lot easier.
We're getting closer to the All-Star break. I've noticed a lot of the under-overs have started to shrink. Last night, the ECSI VIPs go 2-1. We boxed the wire pretty easily on 2 college basketball games, and I thought I was spot on in the NHL, and I got burned. I had the team total under on the Hurricanes 2.5. Now 2.5 versus our overplays 3.5. The tough part about it is we're about to get through the first period 0-0 and then a late goal by the Hurricanes, and then they come back to start the second with another goal. I looked at the stats, 2 for 2 on the power play on 13 shots. Well, what do I need now? I need the Bruins to tie this damn game up 2-2, and let's hold hands. Let's each get a point and go to overtime. And what ends up happening, 3 minutes to go, defenseman pinch in, next thing you know, breakaway, 3-2 Hurricanes. And for you couldn't even get the empty netter.
Yeah, that's greed on my end. I mean, look, you and I, we send each other our plays and we realize that we're on dead opposite sides and somehow neither of us win. It lands on that 3 number, which is rough. But, I said to myself, as great as the Bruins have been defensively, I read your report and said to myself, Bruins have been scoring goals. And I thought to myself, look, if Carolina's going to win this game, they're going to have to score some goals. And when I saw them score with like a minute and, 40 left, I was like, come on. But the thing is about Carolina, they're one of those teams that won't really go for the net. They'll just dump it down the ice. Like they'll just lock it down and play defensively. But that was tragic. The fact that neither of us could get the win there, that's too bad. But, it was already plus money, so maybe it was a bit greedy for me. But I think in those situations, like, long term, that will still add up. And as I've talked about with you before, and you've obviously been preaching this a long time, with the team totals that are plus money, what's so great about it is you look back at your ROI and your losses, like the clip and the percentage that you have to win just gets so much lower because you're not laying a price. Very rarely now will I reach that 140, 150 number. And when I do, I think I'm pretty confident in them. I've had some losses where I have had those price tags, but when I look at a night where I go 2-1, but the 2-1 are all plus money, it's a great night. You go 2-1, you're laying 130, as you've discussed with me before. It's not really a night you're really bragging about. So, it's rough, and funny thing is, Jeff, I actually have one tonight on the board. That's a very similar situation. So I'm curious what you'll think about it, but it's one of those ones where I don't want to overthink it again. And it's a dog, but it's a team total over. I'm not just taking the money line. I want the plus price here.
I probably take a quick look at it, and I probably know where you're going, so we'll get to it. I wanted to ask you, being the NHL guru, the thought process leading up to this weekend, with the All-Star break right around the corner. I like to correlate this not so much to the NBA, because I don't really dive into the NBA till after the All-Star break, but like Major League Baseball. When you get to that All-Star break leading up the week before, a lot of these guys have already checked out. They're giving the wink to the manager. Hey, can you shut me down for the next 2 days so I can get a jump start so I can head over to Cancun for a few days with the family? Yeah. Do you use the same thought process in the NHL coming up to this weekend where a few guys might be checked out? And I'm just noticing these totals seem like they're going down, Andrew.
I like what you're saying there, Jeff. And quick story, someone that I know, their uncle actually played in the AHL for most of their career, but made some appearances in the NHL. And back in the day, there used to be no rules as for how long you could get called up to the NHL. So, before an All-Star break, like you said, you got that trip planned to Cancun, you want to fake an injury, you want to say you're sick or you're kind of checked out. They could call somebody up from the minors for, a day or something like that, right? And then send them right back down. Now, I believe it's 7 to 9 days that you have to get paid as an NHLer. So it's a little bit different. But back in the day, before I was obviously even thinking about putting money on sports, before, I was just a toddler probably. But, this is a time of year, like you said, where you would see teams get checked out, key players check out, and they'd call up guys before Christmas break, before All-Star break, even before the playoffs. to get rested and things like that. But with the new rule now, you're going to get guys that are still having obviously staying, but they've got stuff on their minds. And I think it correlates to even look at tonight. I mean, the Oilers are on that unbelievable streak, but you can still get even money or better on the Hawks plus 2.5 goals. Man, that's tempting, you know? And that's the thing is you either got to ask yourself one of two ways. Do you look for sloppiness, which will lead to goals, or do you look for, lack of scoring, which leads to unders? And I'm of the belief that after the All-Star break, I bet overs. Before the All-Star break, I'm more of an unders guy altogether because I just think that when you come back from a break, you don't forget how to score. You forget how to have that intensity on defense. Before a break, you're kind of going through the motions defensively. You're playing well, but that same urgency offensively might not be there.
Well, we got a big board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games in all. Headliner at 7:07 to be exact. Bruins travel to Ottawa. Overnight number Bruins minus 132 with a 6.5. Currently at circa 135 with a 6.5. Bruins playing on a back-to-back here. Actually, this is the true headliner. So I'll after I announce this game, I know this is maybe where you're going to start. The Islanders traveled to the Canadiens, an overnight number of minus 165 for the Islanders, 6 over minus 30 cents. Now Islanders minus 145 with a 6.5 under minus 20 cents. Reason the big headliner, Patrick Roy, the head coach for the Islanders, now goes back to Montreal. We had the Islanders the first game that he coached, and they lost an overtime game the second game. So he's 1-1. So I'll leave the board now to you.
I got to give you credit for the way you say that, Jeff. You're very good at that pronunciation. I've been reading these things on Twitter about like how English people just say "wah," and I'm not going to lie. Even someone that's Canadian, that's all. As an English, I don't have much of a French background. I used to always say "wah," but you're good at that. You roll the R there, "wah." Look, they're 1-1, but they're 2-0 in one category, and that's to the under. The Islanders, remember how I was pulling up some of these advanced metrics on a couple of the shows to you? They were above and beyond as far as expected goals for, expected goals allowed. They were a team that was blowing everyone's mind as far as the up-down type of hockey team. What I like about this with Patrick Roy, I think that they're going to be a more defensive and controlled defensive scheme in the middle of the ice. They're going to make it very hard for teams to enter. And already the Canadians have had a tough zone entry over their last few games. I mean, it's taken years off my life watching this team, the Canadians. I mean, thank the heavens that I was able to watch them go on that run during the bubble, because I don't know when the next time I'll see this team, even in the playoffs, this Montreal Canadiens team. But it's hard to take an under right now with the Canadians with the goals they're giving up, right? Against the Bruins, against the Senators, both times. Whoever they're playing, they're giving up goals. Montembeau's in net tonight. They're playing at home, where I get it. They have been a little better offensively. But when you're not playing well offensively, what's the best next thing is to step things up defensively. The Islanders, to me, in that last game, were kind of chasing the game. But overall, I watched that one. I had the under with my clients. So I'm 2-0 since Sir Patrick took over. And I'm going to try and make it 3-0 and actually take another sneaky play here on the under. But this time, I'm going to go with a team total under. Taking a look at the number here, you can get 135 to the under 3.5 on the New York Islanders. I know that might shock people. I know I've been wrong about the Habs before this season, but I just think that what's best about this Islanders team is their defense. I can't see them running the score up by any means. So I know it's kind of a bold take, Jeff, because the Habs have been looking awful. There's no denying it. But I think that right now, this Islanders team, they're slowing down their offense, but it's also helping their defense.
Could I play devil's advocate and then say, and I got burned yesterday on this, how about the Montreal team total under 2.5 plus 127?
That's a good price. That's better than what I'm seeing. It's hard. It's hard to argue that. I mean, especially getting the plus price versus the minus. Truth being, Jeff, at this point, I feel like I've missed out on fading this Canadians team. I feel like it's going to be just my luck that I'll jump in and fade them, and then they'll finally put up 3 or 4.
Okay.
And I know that sounds bad, and maybe you could say I shouldn't think like that, but it's one of those things. So maybe overall just the under, but I guess, would you say it's a bit of a contrarian play? I mean, you're getting a 6 with a Canadians team. It's not my favorite play on the board by any means, but I do like the under. And one thing I'll say really quick, the Avalanche, I think I said it on the radio show to you. The Avalanche, when Patrick Waugh was the coach, were young. McKinnon was young. All these players were really, really young. It's harder for a really tough coach to coach younger players. Look at the Islanders roster, filled with all kinds of veteran players, guys that can take a little bit of a tough speech at the end of a game. So I think that he's very well versed for this team. What do you think?
No, I agree with that. And I was going to ask you his success. Well, his coaching success in Colorado, he doesn't take any shit. And it's hard sometimes. You hear it on a handful of these coaches. And actually, when the Bruins fired Cassidy, the word on the street was that he was too hard on the younger players.
Even McAvoy.
Boo hoo hoo! You're getting paid millions of dollars. Suck it up, Buttercup. I mean, please now, and it's funny where today's sports, where I use it in the NBA and the NFL a lot. These divas have come. How dare you talk to me in that tone of voice, as they've been coddled all the way up through, AAU, travel teams, yada, yada, yada. And now they're in the bigs, and you can't even, you can't raise your voice to them.
Look at Luka Doncic last night. I mean, we don't know what the full story was. The fan could have said way worse stuff than when he ended up getting kicked out for, but he told that Luka he needs to get on a treadmill and he's looking overweight or something, and Luka got him ejected from the game. The amount of stuff that I've heard at junior hockey games is unbelievable. And yet these guys are getting people kicked out. It's crazy to me. It's crazy what people are able to just deal with now. But I think we can both agree that certain coaches do better with certain types of people. That's definitely for sure. Look at Doc Rivers. I mean, what the hell has he done since he coached Kevin Garnett? Now he's got his, 4th job in the Eastern Conference. Players coach. I know you don't have me on to talk basketball, Jeff, but man, I don't know what Doc Rivers they think they're getting, but he hasn't been good since 15 years ago as a coach, I think.
Yeah, and they talked about no one's won with Harden. Then you put him in the situation with the Clippers. Those guys were never healthy. And Pepe said it Monday night. He goes, they always lose in 7, so what's it matter? I was like, well, they better win in 6 then. So he started laughing when I said that. So the board's yours. Big board. I know we're short here on time with you. What's sticking out to you tonight, Andrew?
There's one that I've been talking about all day long. This time I'm not going to go with a team total. It's going to be just a money line play. It's going to be on the Minnesota Wild here, Jeff. And one of the main reasons I've been liking this one all day long is simply just the health for this Minnesota Wild team. I talked for quite some time over the last few weeks about this team without Kirill Kaprizov, without Spurgeon, without Foligno. They've slowly but surely gotten healthier. Still no Spurgeon. Gustafsson is back. He will start tonight for the Minnesota Wild. Kaprizov being back, though, and all kinds of other supporting cast members back for this Minnesota Wild team. You look back at when they were struggling. Power play in general was looking rough. 0 for 6 against Dallas, first meeting, loss. Lose the next game to Dallas, 7-2. Lose 4-3 to Philadelphia, 0 for 2 on the power play. The next time they play Arizona, they lose 6-0, 0 for 3 on the power play. What happens with the first day that Kirill Kaprizov gets back? They go 5 for 6 on the power play. One guy can't make a team, but I'm simply betting on the health of the Minnesota Wild right now. They're back into form. They're back in game shape. They've now beat Florida, Carolina, and Washington 3 games in a row, 3 wins in a row. And one thing we always say is you don't want to get on a streak after they've won 6 games. You want to get on a streak early, try and predict that streak. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Bet on this Minnesota Wild team at home against the Nashville Predators, who have lost 2 straight games, giving up 7 goals in their last 2 games combined, and just being very inconsistent right now. So I'm hopeful that the Wild get it done tonight. And no offense to Marc-Andre Fleury. He held it down while Gustafsson was out, but I really do like the Gustafsson is back in net.
Well, and I'll piggyback off of that. We talk about one of the big cherries on top here, and I'll piggyback off of your Wild play. You can get the Wild team total over 3.5 right now, plus 147. So as we like to say, maybe if you're going to take the Wild money line, a little beer and pizza money on their team total over at a whopping plus 147. That could be a 3-2 game in an empty net or late or something like that to add the little cherry on top.
And just looking now for this team, because it's what I like to do when making these team total wagers. Out of their last 10 games, they've won 5. All 5 games, they've hit at least 4 goals. So it's definitely worth mentioning. And it's definitely a beer and pizza night, as I'll be having some pizza tonight. No beer, but Thursday night's usually a pizza night for me anyway. So why not try and pay for the pizza with the team total? I like it here. I'll give away the one I was going to talk about with the plus money. And it's kind of funny because I'm going against the team I lost on last night. And it's going to be the very New Jersey Devils. Was that the team that you thought? That I was looking at? Yeah. So I checked earlier and it was plus 185. I'm even seeing a plus 190, Jeff. I mean, look, I just think if the Devils win, they score 4 or more. The Carolina Hurricanes at home, I get it. They get the last change. They're a defensive-minded team for sure. But looking at the numbers, very similar to what I spoke about with the Islanders this year, Carolina isn't that same low-scoring, trap defense type of team that they once were. They play a very fast brand of hockey. As we saw, what was the game winner last night with Carolina? A fast break, a 2-on-1 opportunity. Usually teams that get 2-on-1 chances also give up 2-on-1 chances the other way. Last time out, New Jersey in their game against Vegas, we saw a hat trick for Tyler Toffoli, 2 goals from Curtis Lazar, a goal from Nico Hischier. They're back, I think, this Devils team. No Jack Hughes, I understand, but I was waiting for a game to see some depth scoring and see some scoring from their big guys as well. I think I saw it. If this team wins, they're putting up 4, Jeff. So plus 185. How about that number?
I absolutely love it. You know me and the plus monies here. Any props that you got on the desk or anything that you've seen throughout the day with your work that might be sticking out for all the people watching and listening?
I want to give a shout out to one of your Bruins, actually. We'll try and find the current number here. Charlie McAvoy is only minus 130 to get on the board for a point. I mean, look, I know we just talked about liking plus money, and I could try and dig up some plus money for you right now. But in their game tonight against the Ottawa Senators that do play very fast, they also give up a ton of penalties. And if you're a team that gives up a ton of penalties, you're going to have a guy like McAvoy that plays the point on the power play. When you're betting these point props, you're not asking someone to score a goal. You're asking them to get an assist, secondary or primary assist. So he's someone that I kind of had circled. Other than that, let's kind of go down the list and you know what I've been looking at actually more, Jeff, this is kind of just a talking point, but goalie save props have been interesting. Like you look at a lot of times you look at teams when you're looking to bet, when I'm looking to bet shots on goal props, I'll look at who are the teams that give up the most shots. The Blackhawks, the Blue Jackets, Ducks, and teams like that. But how about looking at it the other way around? So you can look at Dallas and look at some of their shots on goal props, or you can look at their goalie and say, he's going to get peppered. I'm going to take the goalie over on his saves. So that's kind of a new market that I've been kind of keeping an eye on. I haven't been releasing them as client plays, but I do find it interesting. Let's see if we can get the number up tonight. Here we go. It's there. This one's very intriguing for me. Chicago at Edmonton. A whopping price. It's unbelievable what you're seeing. Minus 625. You want to find a way to bet on the Chicago Blackhawks tonight? I think over 29.5 saves for Peter Mrazek. I'm going to tweet that one out actually after the show. Over 29.5 saves is a good bet because if they stand a chance, they need a good effort. And you're keeping guys to the outside. They're going to give up shots. What kind of shots are they going to give out? So why sit at your desk and figure out which Oiler is going to have a big day on with his shots on goal prop? You know the shots are coming. You might as well just take the saves prop from Mrazek. And the thing is about him too, he's not going to get pulled. I think it could be 5-0, Jeff. They would keep him in there. And that's something that you've mentioned to me before. If you want to take that goalie save prop, you want to make sure he's staying in there.
And you know, it's funny. How do you get into the Chicago Edmonton game? The whole world will have money line parlays. They'll have them minus a goal and a half. They'll have them in regulation. And again, you know, this is the cute play. Edmonton team total over 4.5. So they need 5 or better, guys. You can get that at minus 102. So if you're staring at the stars at 907, want to get in there, a little beer and pizza money, you need to get them to 5, 0-0 at the end of one, and you're sitting there, and just throwing up no extra cheese, no pepperoni today, but it's Edmonton. They're just on fire right now. So that is one way to get in. I love that prop that you talked about as well. Scroll has been going the whole time. They can find you obviously at McInnis Picks, at WagerTalk, at Sports Mayflower. Run on over to YouTube to Mayflower Sports. Subscribe. It's free. While you're over there, subscribe to the East Coast Sports Investors channel as well. But as we always close, Andrew, tell them how they can find you and what you have to offer for them over at WagerTalk.
Yeah, we have a promo code going on right now. Access 7 takes $30 off a 7-day pass. That just got resumed today. Excuse me. So looking forward to hopefully getting people on board for 7 days. And we always preach the longer term, 7, 30 days, 90 days, whatever it may be. So a couple NHL plays going tonight. I got a prop bet going in the NFL for the weekend, which you already received. And we'll have more out for this coming weekend. So look forward to that on a 5-1 NFL prop run. And going to slowly but surely enter into the NCAA hockey market. That starts this weekend. I've got 2 plays circled for this weekend in the college hockey market. So if I'm following hockey, I'm following the prospects more than I ever have. And I'm looking forward to starting to tap into that market. So if you enjoyed this show, guys, retweet it. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and hopefully we can get some winners.
Speaking of college hockey, this weekend, a home and home, BC versus BU, 1 versus 2. You used to be able to go on the SeatGeek and get these tickets for, not pennies on the dollar, but, 40, 50, 60, sometimes $80. Seats are going for 400 plus for the weekend series. So it's going to be a great weekend of hockey back east here.
Wow.
So I love where your eyes are, kid. So keep it up.
That's more money than Will Smith and the San Jose Sharks are going to charge for a ticket on the glass. That's crazy to me.
Yes. From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Investor, one and only Andrew McInnis at McInnis Picks. We can't thank everyone watching and listening at 4:30, 4:30-ish. Myself and Riley Magnuson will be back for the closing bell. Thank you so much for everyone joining, and we will see you soon.